and I'm at 10,500 feet right now. First kick every time. Totally happy. All right, as you can see here, I just went down a really big downhill. The bike's not loaded up, it's idling perfectly. I'm in gear right now too, and the thing's not stalling. Let's see here. We are idling exactly 600 RPM. So I mean, the thing just like, and on top of that, the over-rev is great. The mid-range punch, the low-end torque is all fantastic. The thing just has this perfect linear power band. A little bit of a spike in the beginning, which is great for this kind of riding. It actually kind of reminds me of riding on a 4-stroke bike a little bit, where you got that torque. You just got to use a little bit more clutch to get it to activate here. So yeah, let's go for a little bit of a ride. Whoa, that's a little shitty, huh? So, as you can see here too, I'm gonna have to crawl my way out of this. This bike's still not geared like a XCW or an EXC. It's still got a somewhat high first gear. But you'll notice that the thing really can just kind of chug its way up. This is just pure garbage. My front tire is just locked up and sliding backwards. The thing is really great. Just kind of getting its way, clawing up. If you need to, you know? So I'm locked on that route again. It's so steep right now that I actually can't even hold it with the front brake. Wow. Let's see what we can do here. I don't even know if this is a trail. I don't know, I'm gonna get myself out of this, guys. Ah. Woo. This shit is too dry here. Wow. All right, I'm gonna go back down and try to take another hit of this. All right, we're turned back around here. Look at that, there's a big old mine right there. I've actually never seen that, it's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna follow this line right up here. Let's get over here. Wow, this shit is eroded. So as you can see, man, this thing can just chug up anything if you need to. This idle, no clutch here, just idling. Between this and the flywheel weight, if you need to, you can chug. And that's not the way I normally ride, but if you need it, if you're gonna come up something really steep, this thing's not gonna stall. You know, that's a function of the flywheel weight. But I did notice some serious improvements when the SmartCarb came on too. Basically, you can run it down to nothing. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that might be the lowest RPM I've ever driven anything. Look at that. Ah, there we go. I mean, this still has a little bit of a hill right here, but the thing almost is idling itself up a hill. I mean, that's just a testament to how clean this thing is running from top to bottom. And the flywheel weight is great out here when you need it. If you need to kind of tractor up something like that, you don't really know where you're going. So this thing's awesome. I love this SmartCarb, and I love this bike. This YZ250X has been my favorite bike, hands down. So yeah, highly recommend both these. The YZ250X and the SmartCarb. You got to do a little tweak into the X if you're a tall guy like me, like 6'1". you better raise these bars and you better drop those pegs. But after that, it feels great. Alright, it's probably time to show you guys what this thing's like when you open it up a little bit. I think there's a straightaway section here. If not, I'll just keep going. You never know around these corners. Alright guys, so I've got about 10 hours on this SmartCarb and this YZ250X, and it is awesome. The power has become just perfectly smooth with a good like low to mid-range hit that you can really use out here in the trails. But I also noticed that the over-rev came up a bunch too. I will say though, I kind of noticed that get better when I put the V-Force 3 reed valve on there too. So it's probably a combination of both of those, but even with just the SmartCarb, the over-rev was way better than the Keihin Carb. And I had the Keihin Carb with the JD jetting kit, and it still didn't run nearly as good as this. As far as settings go and like ease of setting it up, Nathan at SmartCarb told me that it was gonna come rich, and it was rich. It was rich enough where I was actually getting a little bit loaded up on very slow sections, and it would actually stall going downhill. But all I had to do was bring the clickers out on the top of the carb, 3 clicks, and the thing is running beautifully now. The power is really smooth. It's been running great. I've had it both at 5,000 feet and 10,000 feet, and it runs almost exactly the same with just a little bit more power at 5,000 feet, which makes sense, right? A little bit more oxygen. So overall, I'm super impressed with this SmartCarb. It's a great product. I'm super happy that from this point forward, the bike will just run great. And I won't really have to make that many adjustments to it. And because, you know, I'm coming from a fuel injected 4-stroke, and I was getting a little bit worried that I was gonna be spending a lot of time jetting, and I'm not gonna be doing that. So overall, amazing product. The other thing that I noticed with this is that the bike just like idles absolutely perfectly now. Even with the JD jetting kit on the Keihin Carb, I would still get worried, you know, while I'm riding, that the thing's going to stall while I'm riding, because it would do that a fair amount. And I think that was just a function of the fact that, like, I'd take it from 5,000 to 10,000 feet on the reg, and to be entirely honest, I just wasn't going to change the jets while doing that. So I'd just keep it rich at 10,000 feet, and I think the thing would get a little bit loaded up, and it would stall a lot more. I think the combination of the weighted flywheel and this carb, and the, you know, just make this thing, it will idle at close to nothing. I've got actually have a RPM or tachometer on my hour meter, and the thing's idling at like 600 RPMs, which is pretty wild to me. So yeah, highly recommend the SmartCarb. No problems whatsoever. The install, I'd say, was very straightforward as long as you can adjust your air boot. Once I got it a little bit leaned out, and I was doing that in stages, so it's been 10 hours of riding, so I was like trying a click, I'd put a new plug in it, check the plug after riding it for 2 or 3 hours. Okay, it's still a little bit wet, you know, try another click out, you know, turn up the idle screw a teeny bit. But overall, it was so close to perfect the way I got it. You know, just do some little tweaks and you'll get this thing absolutely perfect. for your riding style and your bike, and that's it. And now it's just set, and this thing's going to be awesome moving forward. The other thing with this particular bike, I'm actually be making it street legal pretty soon, so it'll be pretty cool to kind of do some more, you know, high elevation to low elevation adventure riding on this bike. You know, I'm talking about day trips, not multi-day trips, so that makes me really excited about the SmartCarb as well. And also, you know, seeing the increased range of the bike, because the bike is running so much more efficient with the SmartCarb, should be great for that style of dual sporting. So yeah, overall, highly recommend it. Right, it makes the two-stroke, which is already the simplest platform to ride on, even simpler, even better, even stronger, and just decreases, you know, any headaches you might have with the two-stroke. It's a fantastic product. You should definitely get one if you can afford it, or save up for it. And you know, if you're going to ride a 250 bike, buy a 38mm, and ideally it'll just swap between bikes. So when you sell the bike, put the stock carb back on, keep the SmartCarb, and that'll be that. But yeah, I got to get this thing out there and test it versus Electron and versus a TPI bike. I'm searching around right now for a TPI bike to go against and see what that feels like. So stay tuned for that too. All right, thank you for watching Source ADV. I'll be doing more videos on this bike, and kind of like a full overview of what's been done to this bike for single track here in Colorado. I'd say this thing is my absolute favorite bike to date. I love the 500EXC when it was in single track mode, but this thing is just, it is so easy to go so fast. What else? Yeah, the suspension's been done on it. It's just set up. So I'll do an expose, or whatever you want to call it, or a feature on this. I'll do a feature on this bike explaining how it's set up here for Colorado. I've owned, geez, I don't know, like 20 bikes, and this is my favorite off-road bike that I've ever owned. So yeah, also we'll be doing more videos on Tacoma, and eventually more videos on building out an ultralight DRZ 400 or something in that range. Maybe it's a WR450F, but I'm still looking for the right bike to start with. And so yeah, please subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the ride out there.